Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam,
Waalaikumsalam,
Doktor.
sir.
Waalaikumsalam, sir.
Let us recite Al-Fatihah. A'udzubillahi minasyaitonirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki yaumiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. O Allah, you are the most merciful, the most compassionate, the most forgiving. Please forgive all our sins, our parents, our families, and the Muslim Ummah. O Allah, please make us to be your best servant and your best viceroy. O Allah, please bless us with knowledge and virtue. O Allah, please help our brothers and sisters who are suffering from hardships, difficulties, challenges in life, sicknesses, illnesses, poverty, conflict, wars, diseases, and all kinds of challenges. Please help them, especially our brothers and sisters in Palestine, in Syria, in Rohingya, in Malaysia, and other parts of the world. Oh Allah, please help us to face the challenges, especially challenges related to poverty, to disease, to hunger, and also to the climate change. Oh Allah, please help our brothers and sisters in Sri Lanka who are facing serious shortage of supplies and food, and also our brothers and sisters in other parts of the world. Oh Allah, you alone we worship, and you alone we ask for help. Wa sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah, first and foremost, let us express our gratitude to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving us the opportunity to continue our class week number 10, part 2. Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. How are you, brothers and sisters?
Great, Alhamdulillah.
Is my voice clear,
Fine.
loud and clear?
Yes, doctor.
Yes, Doctor.
All right, we continue our managing groups and teams. In managing groups, one of the activities that groups will be doing is to make decision collectively, or group decision making. The advantages, there are many advantages of having group decision making, especially when we can get the commitment from all the individuals of organization. But however, they could have also conflict among the members in organization. There are many perspectives about conflict. One perspective mentioned that conflict is something that natural to human beings. Allah has created us in diversity, differences. We came from a different family background, a different culture, different beliefs and values, and therefore it is natural for humans to have conflict. But some perspective they say that, oh, we have to avoid conflict because conflict is not good for organization. So in other words, this perspective trying to deny the fact that humans have diversity. But actually this opinion, it has merit as well, because when you come to the organization, you have to put aside your own values, your own beliefs. You have to wear different hats when you enter your organization. However, let us bring these two perspectives One perspective say that conflict is natural. Another view say that conflict is need to be avoided. So in order to understand this situation, let's look at the types of conflict that we have in organization. So the first conflict we call as a task conflict. When you see the word task, it is related to the work, okay, the formal work in organization. People have a different perspective on how the work can be done. So conflict over the content, the goal of work, it is good because this can give us uh, the the most appropriate and the most legitimate way of achieving the goals of organization. So we can increase also the efficiency and effectiveness. But however, we have to be professional. Do not make it personal. Don't turn into personal. Okay, when you turn into personal, it becomes relationship conflict. Just because of the task, you are not happy because your idea has been, voted out by other members. You wanted to pay a revenge. So this lead to sabotage, etc. So do not extend the unhappiness over the conflict of work into relationship. So we have to avoid relationship conflict because this can be no ending. When people got angry, they will everything they will say everything is not good. So we have to manage, brothers and sisters. Yeah, Ramadan. We have gone through Ramadan, isn't it? We managed to contain our anger, we contain our desire. All right. Or you cannot. How about you, Naufal? Do you think that you can manage your anger, Brother Naufal?
Alhamdulillah. Okay.
And can you suggest Brother Amir how to be person with big heart, not easily angry, not easily irritated? Brother Amir Farhan?
Sorry, again,
How to not to be angry?
how to avoid being angry?
Yes.
What I usually do when I'm getting a bit irritated is that I will always re re reflect upon myself lah.
Hmm.
I shall be.
Reflect yourself.
Because there's no point in being angry in the first place. So instead of getting angry, I will find another way to sort or act upon the problem. You see.
This one conflict over work. One person say this, the other person this, and you are not happy because people don't want to listen to your opinion. Are you going to make it personal or just leave it? How about you, Brother Akmal Najmi? When your views are not accepted by your colleagues?
Usually, I try to look at myself first and think about it twice, and ask opinion or tell it to my close friend.
Let's say in your work you discuss this, discuss that. Suddenly you believe that your way is actually the most appropriate, but because the rest voted for another opinion, you felt that people do not appreciate you, therefore do you stop there or you wanted to pay revenge? Brother Akmal Najmi,
Yes.
are you going to stop there or you don't appreciate? Okay, I'm okay. Or you're not okay?
Okay, okay.
Okay. Or are you going to find another 7 black magicians?
No, no.
No, Brother Shami, will you find 7 black magicians to spell on the person who make you angry? Brother Shami,
What, doctor?
will you get 7 black magicians to spell on the persons who make you down?
Wow. I think my speaker is not so loud.
You can't hear me?
My speaker is not that loud, so I cannot hear so clearly.
Can I give my opinion, sir?
Yes, please, Brother Amir.
For me, if I'm not satisfied with my view is not being again voted in. So another view is being upward. I will ni lah macam bantah lah, minta request for their reasons why they voted his or her opinions instead of mine. If I until I feel satisfied with their points, and then I will agree upon everyone else's decisions. If not, I will keep on going to speak up.
Or you choose confrontation.
Yes.
You confront because why is that you did not vote for my idea? You voted the other person idea. You confront the person. You want to be frank, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Because
good.
we want to make the best possible choice, can. So we have to speak facts lah.
Speak up, right? Speak up
yes.
your views. Very good. Brother Amir has a very good attitude. Speak up your views. But there are some people, they don't want to speak up. They will choose to avoid or they will choose to accommodate, but they extend the conflict into interpersonal. They make it very personal and they don't want to confront. They want to be nice. What they did, they went to the subtle way, like sending employing 7 black magicians to spell on the person until the person cannot wake up. Have you ever heard that?
Yes.
Who being spelled by 7 magicians? Any idea?
Tak tahu.
Recently a very popular figure in our society, is suffering from mysterious sickness, but unable to find cure. Nobody can tell what actually the disease. Went to one medical doctor to after another medical doctor, from one hospital to another hospital. They cannot find the problem. Medically cannot find what is the problem. But when the person went to see the spiritual practitioner, they say that, oh, this one cannot be cured because this is the work of 7 black magicians from neighboring countries. So some people, they dislike you, but they don't want to confront you, but they do it subtly. So be careful, be careful. Of course, now this is also part of the test from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. Allah granted the person to use the black magic to spell on you, and the black magic works. Without the permission of Allah, the black magic also will not work. So religious, you might be wondering why people who are very high in religion, very good in, salat, zikir, also being infected by this black magic spell. The truth is that because we are just human beings. Even our prophets, messengers of Allah also being infected by the black magic. Our prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, our the very sick prophet, also being infected. Not because they couldn't get the cure or protection, but because this is the will of Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala. That Allah created devil as well, and also devil forces, and the devil also can affect human beings. So what we can do, we can only make dua. If we are infected by the black magic, we try to find cure if possible. If we cannot, we just have to be pleased with the situation. So be careful, because some people, they don't want to confront. They went for the subtle way. This is so very bad. However, we have to be careful, not to be excessive in our work. The other one is about process conflict. Again, it's about work, how to get things done. Okay, basically, we are encouraging people to have their different opinion. We go for the functional conflict. Functional means the good idea, the differences that can give efficiency and effectiveness of the organization, but not dysfunctional. Dysfunctional means it's very interpersonal. People cannot work. People cannot, meet each other, and this will result in difficulties to have meeting, to have collaboration and so forth. This is natural to all human society, not just the Asian society, but also in the Western society as well. Okay, in my own experience, I used to also work in the Western society. I thought these people are very professional, and also, they can manage their emotion well. But actually, they are just human beings. They're just like us. But they also unhappy. They also can take to very personal, and also some of them very frank. Very frank. They confront. But some of them no. They are the reserve type. These all human beings. Okay, but the only thing that we perceive that as if those people from the Western world, they are better than us. Actually, they are just like us. Okay, so if you want to know people of other civilization, you have to work, and then you have to live with them. Then only you know. Okay, basically we are all human beings. In Islam, we have what you call approach called adab, asbab, and adab of ikhtilaf. Okay, how we can be ethical in managing our disagreement. We must, number one, we must agree to disagree. Any of you here born to not agree to disagree? You want people all to agree with you. How about you, Sister Nur Munira? Do you want people to always agree with you?
No, sir. It depends on situation.
Do you agree to disagree?
For me,
Yes.
if the situation, if my opinion is suits the situation, so yes, I want people to agree with me, but I will also hear their opinion first.
Okay, Faradiba, Sister Faradiba Hasni. How about you, sister? Are you the one that relax if people disagree with you, or you are not?
I think I am the kind of person who who wants a rationale why that person is not agree with me.
You are not the one that keep yourself, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. There are some people they reserve, they reserve type, they keep to themselves. They disagree, but they don't want to speak up their disagreement. However, when we work in the group, in organization, when we're dealing with differences, we shouldn't right away express our disagreement. All right, we have to rationalize. Just like some brothers mentioned, do not jump into the conclusion yet. Do not jump into premature conclusion. Say that no. So try to rationalize asbab. Why is that the differences happen, and then adapt. So when you are not happy, you have to use the very diplomatic and subtle way, to express your reason. Okay, because what we want in organization is the convergence. Common. We want people to have a common understanding, a commonality. Okay, everything that you can agree, we go for it. Everything that everybody disagree, we don't want to have divergence. Divergence means you are fall apart. Okay, in organization we cannot have people follow different path or different way. Everyone must follow the same way, because there, remember, unity of command. Okay, we have to have shared values, shared goals. Must be everybody working toward the same goal. But if everybody have a different way, and the organization will not achieve the goal. Therefore, when it comes to our Buddhi, we are introducing spirituality, knowledge, virtue, Buddhi. So from the Buddhi in Malay word, but now our university using this Sejahtera and Buddhi, Buddhi and Sejahtera into our work. So Buddhi is a combination of attitude, manner, character, goodness, behavior, good speech, courteous, resilience, and efforts. In the Malay term, they call Buddhi in terms of Buddhi Hati, Buddhi Bicara, and all kinds of Buddhis. But this is under what called in Islam, we call the adab. Adab. Adab means we have to follow the etiquette in the differences. If we cannot follow the differences, then there will be divergence, there will be conflict, and at the end there will be war. We don't want to have war, even though humans at the end of the day they will wish for war, but we should try to avoid war, because war is already the peak of human disagreement. All right. I already mentioned this now, traditional view of conflict. All conflict is bad, therefore we must avoid. However, the human perspective of conflict, that's human. That is a human. We are humans. We have differences. Therefore, we have a conflict because everybody wanted to speak up. Everybody wanted to have their views to be on the top. So therefore, we have conflict. But however, in the context of grouping in the organization, conflict is necessary. Sometimes if people too peaceful also, we do not know whether people are really productive. Sometimes people intentionally create disagreement in order to see who can give better perspective in the organization. And no matter how it is, we have to be careful. We have to be careful with the conflict that we have. So when we have conflict, we need to find ways how the conflict actually happened. We do not want conflict that prolong until it takes our interpersonal conflict, which is what we call the dysfunctional conflict. We don't want people to fight each other in the workplace. Do you want people, fighting each other at the workplace? And what do you think? Fighting, every day fighting. Sometimes fighting not necessarily, physical. It can be also in the form of a bully, physical. Physical is dangerous. We can bring to the, we can report to the authority. Okay, Nurul Shazana Azhar. How to avoid, the dysfunctional conflict at the workplace? Do you have any idea? Mr. Nurul Shazana? How to prevent this dysfunctional conflict? Let everybody join martial art. Can we do so? What do you think, Sister Nurul Shazana? In order to avoid conflict in the workplace, let everybody join martial arts. Like that, taekwondo. Atira,
Yes, Doctor.
can we suggest everyone to join martial arts?
I joined martial arts, so I think I think everyone should join too for the sake of their protection.
They can use during the conflict in the workplace.
Oh, conflict in workplace. Oh, that. I think yes, to avoid, for example, like for the woman to protect themselves for get assault, for sexual assault.
So, are you the what called black belt holder?
Oh no, I'm select.
Tell your co-workers, I'm 6 dan, black belt. Don't play with me. Okay, good. Also, if people know that you have martial art, oh, they're afraid. But remember, even you are very powerful in martial art, a black belt and so forth, But remember, some people they don't have martial art. They are using the spiritual arts. Okay, so not just martial art, everybody also need to learn about the spiritual art as well. Anyone join any spiritual arts? Any of you brothers and sisters? Any of you from Darul Shifa or Darul Salam? Mama Asri, are you from Darul Salam or Darul Shifa?
I think not both of them good.
Oh, any other than this? Perhaps you have your own spiritual art? No, none of you have spiritual art. Oh, Amir also doesn't have spiritual art. Okay, martial art. You can learn. You can have your silat level, taekwondo, judo level. But again, some people they don't have this, but they learn about the spiritual art. Okay, this also among the negative one. It can be the black magic, spiritual art. Okay, but again, for us brothers and sisters, we already have the default, spiritual art for us, because we talk about ru'yah, ru'yah actually the zikr that we recited in daily life. Morning, what actually the zikr that people normally practice in the morning? Anyone knows? Morning and afternoon zikr? No idea? Nur Fatin Shahira? Do you have any practice of morning and afternoon zikr? Nur Fatin Shahira? Oh yes, good. Yeah, no Munira said Maksura, Amir said Maksura. Yes. Don't leave, Don't leave your Maksura. Very good. And this one at least one level of protection. If you wanted to have second level, at the same time also to have others, you can learn from the what called the spiritual class, a spiritual remedies class from these two institutions that I know. Perhaps if you know other institutions, also welcome. Darul Shifa in Bangi. Yes, this is founded by Allahyarham Almarhum Datuk Dr. Harun Din, and Darussalam founded by Almarhum Datuk Ustaz Ismail Kamus. These are the two figures that I know, because my friends, my neighbors, they went to these two institutions to study, and they also already obtained the qualification from both before these two figures passed away, and they already studied from these two figures. So now the members are expanding the two houses of spiritual remedies. So this is so to help people, because if physical sickness, we can see the physician. That's how we call physician. Doctors, specialists, those are physical. But the non-physical one, means the spiritual emotion. So we might want to get the spiritual remedies from the spiritual remedy practitioners. Okay, like those who are practicing ruqyah. Okay, and sometimes now we are facing another problem nowadays. We have this mental health. This one, if you go to ruqyah also, they cannot do anything. Because this combination from the spiritual and also physical. This one require our psychologists, our therapists, mental therapists as well to help you. This is silent disease, that nobody can see, and nobody also can see any indicators. Okay, it happened, and once happened, it can be very dangerous to other people's life, because sometimes they cannot control their mental illness. So we have to find ways. And one of the ways that we need to have a good environment. Our environment that is not very pressured environment, very regimented. Because if people living in the environment that very pressured, and once they cannot manage their mind, they can be exploded. They can be also burnt out in the organization. So that's why we need to, as a group, we have to see the development of our colleagues. If anything that's strange, that we need to find ways, how to help them. Because sometimes this functional conflict require training as well. So brothers and sisters, equip yourself with the spiritual, with physical, with also mental, because our life is becoming very challenging nowadays. And don't forget also to make dua, and also always we have to also find the therapist for ourselves. in our daily life, Alhamdulillah, Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam has shown us the daily routine that can balance between our work, our ibadah, and also our social and individual activities. Okay, don't just focus on certain things until you might not be able to contain yourself. Okay, so talk to others. There is also in Malaysia we have this hotline to get help if you are having mental health. The what call this from the Ministry of Welfare. They provided with assistance. Okay, 15999, right? Do you remember the hotline number to get help if you are suffering from any mental illness? Anything that you cannot solve by yourself, you can dial this 15999, right? The hotline. Okay, or you can also find psychologists. In our campus, we have our counselors. How many of you make use of the counselors in our campus? Muhammad Nur Iman, do you ever seek any obtain service from the counselors?
No, sir.
You're well, huh?
No. Yeah, I'm very well.
So any event that you observe some of your friends need to have counseling, have you ever found? Sometimes you're okay, but your friends.
Yeah.
So have you suggested them to see the counselors?
No, but my previous uni suggested to my friends, like to the all students.
Or perhaps you will try yourself, right? Okay, if
Yeah.
peer counselor, I think some of you are also peer counselor, right? You peer counselor because you already obtained this skill from during your school days. Yeah, because I believe at school also you have peer counseling, right? So you are also trained to be peer counselors. I think they are more open to their peers rather than to the to the professional counselor, because they feel that this one is like very embarrassing to share your problems with the counselors. But again, sometimes if you are okay, brothers and sisters, it is not it is also good if you can go and seek advice from them, especially when you're facing of constraint, time management, unable to discipline yourself. Also, you can go and seek advice from the counselors as well. Because we have one unit here, the counseling unit. So make use of them because they are part of the university services. Because when we sick, we got stomach ache, headache, we know where to go, right? And we go to Ch13 clinic, right? I can see many students in the Ch13 clinic, especially during semester. I cannot go to the Ch13 clinic during the semester because very long queue. So, but during the vacation, semester break, so I will go to the Ch13 center because not many students. So when you have your physical sicknesses, you know where to go, right? But again, at the same time also, why don't you do your your spiritual and mental screening with the psychologist and also the counselor. So this we call the balance, because humans made up to physical and also the spiritual. So physical okay, next we go for the spiritual, because if our physical okay, spiritual not okay, then it will not balance, then we will not be what I call the Ch13 person that expected by the university. All right. Conflict and group performance. When you are, where do you think that you should stop? Having the conflict. Where we can, okay, we can have conflict, but at the same time we cannot prolong the conflict. All right, we can look at the situation, level of conflict, types, and also the internal the group internal characteristic, and also the level of group performance. And this question that we have here. Okay, the number one is question A. If you see here, level of conflict is low, no conflict at all. And the type of conflict that you have, if you have, is dysfunctional, it's very personal. And the group's internal characteristic, they are not responsive, stagnant, not responsive. They are just like dormant. And therefore, we can see, based on this study, the performance is low. It could be low or below the expected performance. But the moment the conflict is at optimal level, it's very high, and the type of conflict is functional. People arguing about work, not about personal, and the group staff are very flexible, very dynamic, and they can accept criticism, and you can see the performance very high. But however, when the conflict is also very high, but high on the interpersonal, and the group also not cooperative, and you can see instead of bringing a good performance, they can give you low performance. Okay, therefore, brothers and sisters, as manager, we have to make sure that the conflicts or the differences among the workers should happen, but must focus on the work. Okay? In other words, we should encourage for more group discussion, more brainstorming, and also we can have like town hall meeting. Okay? Or in the Japanese organization, they have the morning briefing and afternoon debriefing. This is in order to manage the conflict. So we do not want anything that you are not happy on that day to be prolonged on the next day. In Japanese culture, they don't want, what is past is past. Do not still recalling in the past, because they can prevent you from being productive. This is how the Japanese, they put into the practice. Okay, morning briefing including the exercise, and also we have the afternoon debriefing. After you have done your work, before you leave home, you get together again and do the warming down, and then the group leader will get the feedback of the day, and then they plan what will be the tomorrow activities to be done. Again, even tomorrow morning, they will see again to do the morning briefing. So by doing this, the very regular interaction, it can actually manage the conflict from dysfunctional to functional conflict. So this is the one of the ways. If you ask people ask you how actually to manage the conflict in the workplace, you can manage through the routines. You can have routines. You can have the town hall. You can also have the perhaps a management by working about. You can do not to the spot check, but you can have a session, coffee session or tete session with your employees, but not during the working time. However, this practice has been the practice by the Japanese. They have during lunch break. All of them during lunch break, they will not skip to have lunch together. Brothers and sisters, one way that can also build the bonding among workers in the workplace is when you can have a time of eating together. Okay, this is a quality time in the workplace. Doesn't matter whether you are in the white collar work or blue collar, whether you high end or low end, it doesn't matter. But you see, sometimes you see the grass cutters, right? The grass cutter of highway, etc. At 10 o'clock, you see them. They take out all their overall uniform. They put on the road. They dry their clothes, and all of them, open not open table. They make a circle, and everybody, they have their own container and food, and then they share their food. This one of the way, to increase the bonding among the people. At the workplace, we can have, that's why we have pantry. In office, we have pantry because pantry is where people, everyone will go to pantry to have a cup of coffee or tea, and also to grab some biscuit, etc. So going there, it can be like a brief chatting, etc. for people to sometimes a matter of to express their themselves during the pantry session, but sometimes they prolong during the lunch break and so forth. That's a human being. Human tend to be very very like remedies through the food meeting. So food also another diplomatic way to bring down people temperature. But don't feed with the high temperature food. Okay. Any of you the one that love to eat the high temperature food? Amri is okay.
Yes.
Oh, Amir also high temperature food.
Yeah.
Oh, this lot of chili, huh?
Yes. The more the better.
The more the better. But don't make yourself also angry, Too much of chili.
Alhamdulillah, not yet.
Alhamdulillah. But some people, be careful. You are still young, okay? But some people, when they already reach certain age, they have some ulcer in their stomach. Need to have balance. No, that's why, people who are consuming high temperature food, they also have remedies. They have remedies for their to give medicine to the food medicine to another food, because that's why in all days, when even you have chili, but you can bring down the chili with onion, and also with salad, and also with cucumber. Because the nature of cucumber is cold when you consume chili, and then you use cucumber to be the remedy. So that's why we have to learn. We have to learn about the diet, and also food that can hot food and also cold food that can be the remedy. But not to be excessive of eating high temperature food. Okay. All right. Let me continue. All right, good performance and satisfaction model. Okay, this is the model that we can see how actually people can increase the performance of group and also satisfaction among the group. Okay, the complexity of the task also can bring into the group effectiveness because when they can work together to solve the problem. So they can also increase their performance. So nothing, complexity that human cannot solve. Okay? If one brain cannot solve, let's go for the two brains. Two brain cannot solve, go for the three brains and so forth. Okay, the more the merrier. But again, be careful. If too many, that could be another problem. All right, now we're talking about group. Next is about teams. How are we going to differentiate between group and teams? Why? There is a term called group and teams. Of course, still, we're talking about the membership of a group and team. Again, it is not individual. It's not one person. It is a minimum 2%. So work team actually, those who also from the group, but they are now working on the specific common goal with the high intensity in terms of the task and also enthusiasm to do the work together. The group could have common objective, but in terms of intensity is not very high. So just like in soldier we have normal soldiers and we have the elite soldiers, right? We have the common soldiers and the commando soldiers. So the commando one, elite, they have upgraded and advanced skill, advanced resilience compared to the normal soldiers. Because this work team meant for very, very advanced and also non-ordinary project that needs to have the team to perform. And why is that? The work team can have high performance compared to the work groups, because the leadership role is not by one person, it is shared. Accountability to the team, not to individual. The team create the specific purpose for the team, but the group actually based on the purpose of the organization. Work is done collectively in the work team, but not in the group. Group is made up of individual who perform different pieces of tasks, and then when they combine the tasks, it becoming the outcome of the group, but not in the context of work teams. But the piece of work actually resulted from the team members, but not not from the one or two individuals. Meetings, very high-end meetings, with very open-ended discussion, but with collaborative problem solving. Compared to meetings in the work group, they go for the efficiency, but not necessarily end up with the open-ended discussion. They just do things based on the time given, and that's it. And performance is measured in the work teams by the collective output compared to the work groups according to the individual performance. And work is decided and done together by the work teams. But in the work group, it is decided by the group leader and then delegated to other group leaders. Okay. However, work teams, because it is very high intensity and also high expectation, like commando. Commando cannot do the work on routine. Commando only on specific mission. So once the task, project, or exercise operation already finished, so the work team also will be dissolved. Okay? But day to day, they will just do the routine. They're coming back to the group. So this is, but not all the organization will require work team. Especially if you are in the very uncertain, dynamic, very competitive environment, then you need to have work team. Yeah, for example, like university, we don't use work team. We are just on the work groups. Unless we have specific project that require us to work on fast and speedy mode, because to chase the deadline and etc., then only we will apply the work teams. Okay, there are many types of work teams that organization can use. It can be problem-solving team to solve certain problem. For example, the problem of not enough money. How we can minimize the money that we have, or problem of not having enough manpower at certain departments. So this require also the work team to solve. It can be also cross-functional thing. Okay, for example, when we have one-stop center to address issues of, for example, the issues of sustainability, for example, and therefore we can apply the work, the cross-functional team. Virtual team, when we are not in physical in the same place, but we have a common target and also common deadlines, so we can also use the virtual team. Like for example, our university has a SDG team, and our SDG team is not just from Malaysia. We have a team from Europe, Africa, US, etc. So, but again, they have one big project to be done by all of them, so they go for the virtual team. So another one, we can also have the SBU, small business unit, or self-managed work team. This is a specific assignment given to the team without the intervention from the organization. So which one you want to choose? It depends. Not all the time you have all these work team in the organization. In order to have an effective team, so once again, number one, the goal must be clear. Number two, everyone must have the skill to complement each other. Number three, respect and trust people. And next, we need to give us full commitment, no partial, no half-heartedly, no, must give full-heartedly, and must have good communication. Do not have some people who reserve to themselves, do not want to speak up, etc. And try to negotiate. Like when you are frank, you tell yourself, you speak up what you like or dislike, and then if your idea is not being accepted, then you try to convince others. This is called the negotiation. Apply appropriate leadership. You cannot be too regimented, but sometimes we have to put a full stop for the non-ending discussion. Support is very important. We need to have money. We need to have the devices. We also need to have the moral support. Both internal and external are very important. Especially when you are in the organization, of course, you need to have the resources. You need to have the money and also support from your organization. So, therefore, before you reach the situation whereby you need to have work teams, so first you have to ensure that all the members are ready. Must be ready to give their fullest commitment and also their passion into the work. So therefore, don't forget to do the training. Team building is one of the activities that organizations shouldn't omit. No matter whether you have budget or not, you still can do the team building. Because team building means you bring people together, and with the interaction, it can reduce, the differences and also the feeling of annoying and so forth. That's why team building, they have activities. They have activities like sport, recreational activities, because by having what I call physical interaction and physical touch, we can bring togetherness to the people. When we are fall apart, we live at different places in our own office, and we don't meet and talk to others. This also can increase the gap between people. So managers need to look at this issue. Of course, it can be done on the job. It can be done also outside the job. One of the way nowadays in Hari Raya, people have open house and open office, right? So do you know tomorrow we have Kuliah of Economics Independent celebration? Brothers and sisters, are you aware?
Tomorrow, is it?
Yeah, tomorrow after Jumaat. Please come at 2:30 at our class RT1. In front RT1, there will be a celebration of Eid al-Fitr. Please do come join, because this Eid al-Fitr is one of the occasion to bring people, the lecturers, the students, and also the staff here, admin staff, technicians, cleaners, janitors, maintenance, all together. Don't what I call isolate yourself. One thing that I observe, when people go to any open house, they don't want to mix. They will create their own group. Student among student only, lecturers among lecturers only. If you are available, if you have other things also, it's no problem. I myself also cannot join because I already have my schedule appointment with doctors. I already said that it's beyond my control. If I can come back early, I might be able to join. Otherwise, I can you represent me? Okay, all of you, you say you represent me as well to the Eid al-Fitr celebration of Kuliah Economics. I think from 2:30 until 6. Okay, please welcome to the celebration. More important thing is actually to meet people. Don't worry if the food is not enough, etc. Don't worry. Just go for the sake of meeting people. Waqaba ila li ta'arafu. Okay, if you have food, alhamdulillah. If the food is not enough, not available, and don't be sad. All right, brothers and sisters, just be prepared mentally, physically. Our intention is to have the what call the meeting. The meeting of this is the moment that all people will be there. But again, don't forget SOP, brothers and sisters. Or even though in the open space, we have to maintain the SOP. All right, that's all that I would like to discuss about this topic for week number 10. Do you have any questions, brothers and sisters?
No, sir.
All right, final exam. Okay, I already announced final exam will be face-to-face now, no online. The decision made by the kuliah recently that no online exam. And for those who are not here in Malaysia, you are still in overseas, so you have to write to the kuliah to explain about your situation. And for those who are not able to sit due to sickness, also you have to inform the kuliah. Okay, don't keep yourself. If you are sick, you are not well, you're under quarantine, you also inform the kuliah. So we call this, we will call your status as absent with permission. You're absent from the final exam, but with permission. So since you have absent with permission, you will be given another time to sit for the exam, which is we call special exam. Normally will be organized at the beginning of the new semester. We announced semester 2021-22. So the new semester will be in October 2022. Okay, that's all that the kuliah wanted I will lecture to convey to student. Number 1, about the exam. Number 2, please come to the kuliah of economics in celebration. All right, with that we end our session with tasbih kafarah and salatul asr. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Wal asri innal insana lafi khusri illa alladhina amanu wa shalihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, sir.